Welcome back everybody to Blackbeard Racing. So I'm going to give you a little update on the car, the motor and whatnot. The car, we'll start with the car. Okay, we'll start with the car. So the car right now, we were in the process of being, it was in the process of being stripped while somebody worked on the motor. That way we can knock, two birds out with one stone. So this is how far we've gotten on the car, engine bay, interior. Yeah, I think realistically that's it because we haven't done any body work yet. So this is the progress we got on the car so far. This is the engine bay and the interior. So the engine bay, it had the wiring harness, it had everything. It had basically everything for the 13B. But since we're not going 13B, we're going 5.0 HO Mustang. So yeah, we pulled everything out that we don't need. There's still things to be pulled out, like wiring harnesses cut and still over there. It was already cut on the harness, but to fit it through the hole, since it was already cut, I didn't really care of reselling it or keeping it or anything like that. Pulled all the front stuff out, pulled all the stuff that was here out, some stuff that was over here, lines and whatnot. That's just a 5.0 fuel rail. Don't know if we're going to be going power steering or not. Depends, because I just realistically just want to get this thing up and running. And for the interior, as you can see, I'm pulling wires off of the dash stuff. Oh. And the interior. Okay, we got the doors out, got the carpet out, got everything out. Everything, all that AC and heater box and whatnot. We're still working on pulling the dash harness out. It's just been very, very hot here in California, so we've just been like doing as much as we can. But yeah, that is the car progress. We've got all the junk in the back. Take a dump run, throw that stuff out because it's all junk. And for the motor, okay, we got the new water pump on. We got all the gaskets on the bottom and the front done. I had the valve covers on, all new gaskets, everything was nice and clean. But then I was like, you know what? This thing had some issues with it, so we're gonna go ahead and change the head gasket. So right now I'm in the process of tearing it back down, and we are going to change the head gaskets on it. Which I'm not gonna shoot a video on changing the head gaskets because it's self-explanatory. There's 1,000 videos, millions of videos on how to change a head gasket. So yeah, and this right here, see this right here? This little piece broke off, but it doesn't affect the water port here. So we're gonna roll with it. If it busts or if it starts leaking, we're just gonna get a new one. Like after the startup, the first startup, we're just gonna get a new one. So yeah, that is the progress of it as of right now. We are still tearing apart the car. We're still tearing apart the interior. We still have parts to get, etc. Still looking for a transmission. If somebody has a 5.0 transmission, T5 manual, not AOD, manual, please let me know. Please put a comment down below or message me personally because I really need one. I already have a flex plate and clutch. I just need transmission and bell housing, and we'll be able to drop this thing in. Don't know if I'm gonna go granny speed set or I'm just gonna fabricate my own motor mounts and transmission mount, but we'll see when the time comes. I just want to get this motor done, all regasketed, everything like that. So we got one side of the motor done. We got one head gasket changed so far. It didn't take me that long, to be honest. The surface was fine. Everything was fine on it. The gasket was bad. I don't know where I put the gasket, but I think one part of it swelled up, but nothing else was really blown out. So I have to go now. I have to go pick up my son from school, go run some errands, and then I'll be back and to change the other side of the head gasket, which should be the one that went bad, because this one was fine. This side of the motor looked fine. Blah, 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 blah. Everything was fine. The other side was the one I was concerned about. So one of the heads, or we already did one of the heads. Now we're taking the other one off, or we actually already have it off. but my drill died, so I couldn't get all the rest of the gasket gunk off of it. But drill's charged. We're gonna keep doing it right now. I'm gonna put it on, bolt her down, torque her down to spec, and then put the valve covers back on, put the intake manifold back on, all that stuff, just button her back up. But after this head gasket is done, like completely, I think everything would be covered, as in seals, front main, rear main, oil pan gasket, timing cover gasket, water pump gasket, thermostat gasket, valve covers, intake manifold, everything. Everything will be completely re-gasketed. I think that's it. I'm not putting the gaskets on for the what is that, the smog pump lines and all that. I'm blocking them off completely because it's a track car. I don't need smog equipment. I vacuumed everything out, cleaned it all up. So yeah, we're just gonna finish getting all the rest of the gasket gunk off and put it back together and button her up, and she'll be completely done. Completely done. I won't have to mess with it anymore or anything like that. So then the next project is setting the motor in there while it's hoisted up on the crane. Where is it? While it's hoisted up on the crane. Set the motor in there and finally measure out my motor mounts so I can actually just set her in there. Because I just want it to set in there. I want to see how it's going to set, and we'll see how the power steering lines up with the oil pan. I know I'm probably gonna have to get what is that? I forgot what oil pan it is, but I might have to get the other oil pan, which I'm fine with. It wasn't too expensive. But I did find out that it's got racing feet. Let me see if I can get a picture or a shot. Right here. That says Racing Beat. It's got Racing Beat lowering springs on it already, which is not bad, but I'm gonna take them off, resell them. I'm gonna get some coilovers because obviously, you know, coilovers are the way. We got the motor, or we got the other head on. I'm going to cut it there. I got it all torqued down to spec, new gasket on, vacuumed, cleaned, everything. It's perfect right now. But I'm going to call it a night because it's like what time is it? 7 o'clock right now, and it's like 102 degrees here. So I got the heads on with the new gasket. Everything's torqued down to spec. Tomorrow I will put the intake manifold back on and the valve covers back on and the second intake manifold back on and give it, or make it full motor again. So this is where we're at right now. So as you can see, and all this white stuff you see in here, that's just all lube. So as you can see, we got the new gasket on there, brand new, both sides. Well, that side doesn't have it, but you get the gist of it. Brand new gasket. So this is how close we are to having it complete. Tomorrow it will look a lot different. And I do know that the gasket does go a certain way. It even explains it on the gasket, but after watching so many videos of changing a head gasket and doing it on other cars and stuff like that, I know how the 302 head gasket goes on because of those ports in the front and the ports in the back. You want to make sure your gasket's right or you're going to overheat the rear of the motor. So yeah, if you do like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave comments down below on tips and tricks for the swap, and stay tuned for the next one. Out.